It's been 2 years since I first picked this car up, and there's no other way of putting it. I've basically owned the ultimate daily driver. I think it's fair to say we should go out for a drive and talk about why it's been the ultimate daily driver. So let's go. Just listen to this. Every time. Every single time. 2 years. 2 years of ownership of this car, and what a wild and amazing 2 years that has been. Now, if you've been watching any of my other videos, you will know why I feel like this is one of the most amazing cars in the world. It does absolutely everything. This car does everything. It does the whole family side. You can stick a whole family in this car pretty comfortably, and everyone won't really have a complaint because it just does it so nicely. There's no other way of putting it. This car does everything. It has been fantastic to own. All things considered, the fact that I've been able to live with this car for 2 years, doing loads of trips with not just me and my wife, but with the families as well, going to weddings and all sorts, it's been absolutely amazing. And has it been flawless of an experience? Well, I don't think any car can be absolutely flawless, but it's not that the car's giving me problems. It's a matter of just, well, no car is completely perfect, but a car can be the ultimate in many ways. You see, this car does it all. It does the drives against supercars. You could take this on a trip all over the UK and it will keep up with the best of things. You can drive this around through the Swiss Alps or the beautiful country lanes in Wales, and it will put a smile on your face just like any other car would. I've been able to have a group of guys in the car, and we've been able to get a 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It achieves phenomenal fuel economy for the type of car it is. The fact that this car has been able to do it as a 600 brake horsepower, 4.4 litre car, it's been able to average me locally around 20 to 22 miles per gallon depending on how I'm driving, and on the motorway, if you're leaving it on cruise control at 70 miles per hour, you're basically going to get close to around 38 to 40 miles per gallon, which is just absolutely amazing. Something that, going back 5 years before this, you would think, how is that even possible? I don't think the F10 M5 was as good as this car was on fuel. But where it gets interesting with this car is I feel like actually living with it for 2 years has shown to me that it really is the best all-arounder that you could get. The build quality all around this interior, I'm yet to find an annoying creak or issue that's come about from this car that wasn't supposed to be there. This car is so well built. The build quality of the E63S's that I was looking at when I wanted to get this car was not onto the level that this car is. See, what is the definition of a daily driver? Well, it needs to be a car that's comfortable to use and safe to use and spacious to use for what your requirements are. And this car hits all of those with massive green ticks. It's been amazing to be able to live with this car. The way this car has been designed to just sit on the autobahn means that in the UK it is extremely good to use on a long distance trip. I could easily drive this car to Paris and I wouldn't feel a thing. I've driven it to Cornwall and Scotland. It's effortless in this car. And with the spec that I've got on mine, with the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, the 360 camera, the active cruise control, and oh god, the heated front and rear seats, there's no complaints from anyone for anything. I've been able to sit in this car for hours and literally feel zero fatigue. It looks good, it grabs attention. You can pull up to a wedding in this car and it doesn't look like it's out of place. I've turned up to a couple of weddings, left it in Sport Plus, done a few revs outside when everyone wants, and it hangs with the best of them. I only really would an older Lamborghini Aventador or something like that really show this car up. An E63 and RS6, yes, it doesn't sound as good as an E63 and RS6, but it's not that far behind. And being the fact that I got this car as a normal base level M5, because I really didn't like the competition version. It was just too bouncy, too firm for the local roads. This car was just absolutely perfect. It does everything exactly the way you want it to. And when you press M1, the way I've got it set up, you drop it down an extra gear. Oh my gosh. Oh, listen to it. Amazing. In all fairness, with the way this car is and how well built it is, you don't fully realize just how loud and good the car sounds from the outside. Even if you open the windows up, it doesn't do it justice. I would say watch the 10 things that I love and the 10 things that I hate about this car, and it will fill you in on a lot more information. And also the video that I've done with my cousin with this car against his 540i and the differences between the two cars. My opinion, this is the ultimate driving machine. The new M5 just won't be able to compete against this in terms of actually living with it, owning it for many years. Yes, that car being a hybrid means it's good on fuel, right? But it's so much heavier of a car. This car is so agile and dynamic. I can literally do whatever I want with this car and it will just do it. And I know the new M5 can technically do all the same things, but it just won't be able to do it the same as this car. And honestly, that's why I feel like this is the ultimate daily driver. And I would love to hear from someone else, anyone else, that if you think that I'm wrong here. As a daily driver, as a car enthusiast, it doesn't get much better than this. I actually feel like this car is probably better to use as a daily driver than an M5 CS, because you're not going to deal with as big of a depreciation by putting miles on one of those as you would in one of these. The fact that we got steel brakes means that it's not ceramic. You don't have to deal with the headache of replacing ceramic brakes. And it's, again, like I said, it's not as firm. You can sit in this car comfortably. The seats are super comfortable for long distance drives, and in my opinion, that's what an M5 should be. And if you look at the history of M cars, that's what they always were. They were dynamic, amazing to use supercars for the family, and this car is exactly that. Oh man, I just saw like a couple just literally turn as soon as they had this car. It just grabs everyone's attention. Oh. And being a pre-LCI means you have less filters in the exhaust, which means you still get a good sounding exhaust from this car. But everyone, what do you all think? Do you think I'm right with saying this is the ultimate daily driver? Because it's better than the M3s, it's better than the new shape M5, and I think it's better than the E63S and RS6 and RS7s. I just can't see a better daily driver for a family. And that's what I want to end this video on this car. It's been an amazing 2 years. I'm unfortunately selling it and I'm moving over to a 7 Series because, well, I wanted something a little bit more comfortable for my daughter, because this car eggs me on to drive it quick. And hopefully in a couple of years time I wouldn't mind getting myself back into one of these. So check out my other videos with this car. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in a future video. Peace out. Bye. I think I can see a part of the car. Yes. There she is.